morning, Dan.
Hey Brendan, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
That's good. Dragged you out of your comfort zone at that desk out there for download number 126.
That's right, love
Throw you
it.
in the deep end again.
Yeah, love being here, as you know. Yeah, no, it's good.
Very good.
And Dan, you've recently been to a seminar with Vanguard, I believe.
Vanguard yesterday morning was a nice breakfast, which was good. But it was Vanguard's a very global company, Brendan, in that a lot of funds under management in the US, and then over here, Vanguard managed funds, and we're seeing more and more exchange-traded funds come through from them now. But their chief economist from the US was over doing a presentation yesterday morning. It's quite interesting. One question he got asked was about the level of the US debt, and he's basically, they're not really worried about it, Brendan. They just, he's saying whilst the United States currency is the only world reserve currency, they're just going to let that debt keep growing. So
great, is that a good thing?
Well,
it doesn't sound good, but
it's just, I think it'll be one of those unstoppable freight trains. So it's just always going to be there. And it really doesn't get mentioned much anymore, does it? You know?
It doesn't. It hasn't come up for, well over a year, has it?
No, not really. So interest rates are going to go up. That might slow things down a little bit. One thing he said was that the US market's so high, it must be due for some sort of correction, but no idea what the catalyst would be for that. So, and it is pretty high, isn't it, over the 20,000 points?
That's right. And Buffett, I see him saying that he doesn't believe it's in bubble territory. He thinks it's still undervalued. So that's interesting coming from.
Is that Case-Shiller, the PE ratios? Anyway, we won't go there. He's one of the big catalysts for a correction in his mind would be the Italian election. They seem to think that Le Pen will win the first round of the French election, but ultimately the other side will get in. It'll be business as usual in Europe. But with the Italian election in early 2018, the level of unfunded debt in Italy could be the real problem. So there are things, on the horizon.
Clouds on the horizon, very interesting.
It is very interesting. So what have you been looking at, Brent?
Mantra.
Mantra?
Just had a look. The mob that owns resorts and hotels.
Yes.
So they've really had a pullback recently because of fears of Airbnb, which is like a room sharing, internet type based company. So there's the fear that that's going to take away from Mantra, but Mantra itself, I guess, has several good properties, and
they've got a lot of properties, Brendan, haven't they?
They do, and I guess with you look at growing overseas Chinese holiday makers, there could be still something there, and at I think it's 5.5 grossed up dividend yield. It's fairly reasonable.
Yes.
And a turn to profit. I think it was 15% this year profit. So
very good.
So I mean, it's good numbers at the moment, but I guess you've got Airbnb on the horizon and see what impact that might have. But
could be positive too if the US dollar keeps going up. That'll drag some of those other currencies up, so that'll make it more expensive for us to go overseas. So that will be positive for Australian holidays.
Internal.
Yeah.
That's right.
Other one that was out today, Brendan's Harvey Norman. They've come out. If you strip out, he's got a funny way of doing his books, Jerry Harvey. He adds revaluations of property in there as well into the profit, but if you strip that out, the profit's still up about 18%, so not a bad profit. 14-cent dividend. Analysts don't seem to like that though, so they've sold it off a little bit today, but that's at 14 cents, that's about a 2.9% 6-month dividend. And it's one of those ones now, if you bought now for that dividend, you're effectively going to get 3 dividends in 12 months. So
yes.
So for those looking for dividends, there's certainly an opportunity, and they go ex-dividend, I think, early next week. So
that's right. And they're down 15.
Down about 35% today. 35 cents.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There you go. So better than buying yesterday.
That's good. And I reckon that's about us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.